I did $80,000 in one day with my e-commerce brand. I'm 20 years old, I live in Sydney, Australia, and over the past year I've done nearly $1 million in sales with my e-commerce brand. So yeah, today I'm going to show you guys how I built the success so quickly, and yeah, the tips and tricks that really got me to this level. So yeah, first of all, I want to start this off by saying I do not sell a course. I don't care to sell anything. This video is not about selling you anything. It's simply just going to go into depth about what it took to get this sort of revenue in a day. Now, I do mentor some people. The link will be in the description below. If you're interested in that, check it out. But yeah, as you can see, $86,000 in sales. This was a couple of days ago. We've got a few refunds, so that's dropped back down to 80,000. But yeah, so what did it take? How did I do it? How did I do it so quickly? So you need to first find a product with longevity. What does that mean? Building a brand. And why? Why should I build a brand? Now, I just want to firstly say, drop shipping, I don't do drop shipping. I never have done drop shipping. I don't believe in that business model. I think it's a lot of bullshit. I just don't think that it's as easy as these gurus make you think. I don't think that, there's any value in the products that you're selling, and they all die. They last for about 3 months, then you have to go keep finding new products to test and keep, the cycle just continues of finding new winning products. And they're all, typical gimmick bullshit products that really just have no longevity whatsoever. So with branded, right, you're actually building customer loyalty, retention, an actual business that has longevity and has scale. You're not just selling some product that's viral and then just dies. Obviously, it requires a little bit more capital up front, but honestly, if you do it correctly and if you do it in the way I suggest, it's not that much more, and you're actually building a business with retention. So, what are you looking for? First of all, you're looking for a problem solution product, right? So a product that actually solves a real problem, right? So for example, you got these collagen companies or these wellness companies that sell these collagen to women, and it supposedly helps with their skin, their gut health, bloating. These are pain points that a lot of women face. And honestly, it actually is like a solution to that problem, right? So that's what you're looking for in your product, and that could be anything. There's so many other examples. That's just the first one that's come to mind. And then secondly, you're looking for a consumable product, a consumable good. So what that is basically a product that you have to consume, to use, and then obviously it runs out after a certain period of time, forcing the customer to buy the product again if they want to continue using it. And if they like the product, obviously they're going to buy it again, and you're going to get more money. So it's going to continuously have, retention. People are going to keep coming back and buying your product. So like with the collagen, they'd keep coming back and back to buy more if they're enjoying using that product. So you're building retention, you're building lifetime value, right, of that customer, which is what you're actually aiming for in a business. It's nothing if you have a product, right? It's great if you get a sale, but if they don't come back and buy more, then you've failed. You failed as a business because there's no money in selling the product once. I mean, there are some business models where you're selling furniture that are high order values, thousands of dollars, where they probably only buy once, but that's different. At least you're getting thousands of dollars up front. Anyway, now you've got a consumable product. You're looking for a product with market fit. What does that mean? Market fit. Basically, a product that fits demand, right? You have a product that actually sells, it's proven concept. And how do you see if it's a proven concept? Basically, you go and look at for other brands that are winning in that space, in that niche, that are selling that product and already successful selling it. So that basically means that there is a demand for that product, and people are buying it and people use that product. But you're looking for market fit, but you're also looking for potential to sell to underserved audiences. So for example, right, an easy way is, okay, like I was talking to some guy about this, hydration, right? Selling a hydration product, right? Like a hydration powder, but instead of selling it to athletes, which is what everyone does, selling it to an underserved audience like middle-aged women, solving health issues that dehydration causes. So that's an underserved audience in that market. You don't want to advertise to who you want to, right? You got to advertise to who buys the product. I think a lot of people start, they want to sell to someone that's kind of like them because they relate to it, but that's just not how it works. You gotta find the audience that will actually buy your product at the cheapest marketing cost, right? For example, like when I started my brand, I really wanted to sell to men. I wanted to sell to people around my age or a bit older, but I couldn't because they just honestly were too expensive to market to, and the barrier to entering to that market, selling to that audience was too high. So I had to find another audience. Honestly, a bit different to what I expected, but it works, and what works is what matters, right? So once you found a product that has market fit, and then you want a product with high AOV, a product that has the ability to bundle. So what does AOV mean? AOV is average order value. So the value, the average order value is essentially, once all the orders are put together, what's the average value of the orders, right? Now, why does that metric matter? Basically, when you're marketing on Facebook, right, it's expensive as to get acquisitions. So you want to have as much profit as possible. Now, how do you do that? By bundling products together. So you're not just selling one product that solves the problem, you're giving them multiple products in one bundle. So it's kind of like the go-to for that, the go-to solution for that problem. But there's multiple products solving the same issue or kind of go together, if you know what I mean. So they might not all solve the same problem, but they all work well together. You can kind of just figure that out with logic. Now, you want a product that has a high AOV, right? Roughly $100, right? Something that you can bundle to get to $100. Yeah, so you actually have profit, so you can actually market that product at a good price, you know? You want to be able to just drop a lot of money in top of funnel, which is just like cold traffic. You want to be able to just get as many new customers in as possible, profitably. Having a high AOV means more profits for you and actually allows you to scale your business. When I'm talking about consumable goods, I'm also talking about products that you want, let's take these off, products that you're able to create subscriptions around. So a product that has subscription ability. So what does that mean? What is subscription ability, right? Subscription ability is this. Subscriptions are essentially when you sell a product on a monthly recurring payment base, just like Netflix, but for your product, because it's a consumable, they run out, and the incentive is that they save money on a subscription monthly, whereas if they bought it one time, they have to pay more. And that's the incentive. Also, some brands do give out free gifts on the subscriptions, which also increases the incentive. And that's all about having a good offer. But that's not what I'm talking about. You want to find a product that has that ability to do that. That will allow you to have the most success in the future. So yeah. Also, when you're doing market research, the last thing you're looking for is a product that you can create a point of difference from. So you don't want to sell the same shit as everyone else. Well, you do. You're selling the same product, but you want to have your point of difference. So for example, in the supermarket, there's a lot of products that are already being sold. So like when you're creating a point of difference, right, you kind of want to make your product look like the better alternative to those cheaper products that are probably like the same product. But when you're branding and advertising a product, you kind of want to create a villain out of those products as they're cheap and they're shit and they don't work. Your product's better. That's what you want to be able to do. You want to have a real point of difference. Maybe your product has features that the others don't. Maybe they have benefits the other ones don't. But the point is you want yours to stand out and be different. So if you can't do that with your product, then it's going to be a lot harder to bridge that gap into that market and really stand out. Obviously, you can probably do it with branding, but even still, you want to have features of that product that actually make you stand out. So how do I find inspiration, right? I use tools like Atria. So what is Atria, right? Atria is this online platform that essentially allows you to look at winning ads across all different niches, industries, brands. And basically, why am I looking at ads, right? Well, the ads are a telltale sign of what's winning in the market, what products are selling. The way I look at what a winning ad looks like to me in this is basically how long the ad's been running. Typically, if the marketer doesn't have that, unless the marketer wants to waste a lot of money on advertising ads that don't work, the winning ads, the ads that have been running the most have been taking up the most marketing spend in Facebook. So that means that they are winning, they are selling. And the winning ads are usually the ones that tell you the most about the brand. So this is where you can do a lot of market research as well. So for example, if I'm, like I said before about collagen, it's just a really easy one for me to think of right now. Let's look at a brand that does collagen. See, you type up wellness, right? And these are all wellness brands. They all sell different types of products. Obviously, Ovi, if you don't know, that's a collagen brand. So pretty much perfect for me. But if I searched up collagen, right, I would get lots of ads. Now, how do I filter it so it has the correct, so I can find the most relevant stuff? You want to go longest running, and I mean longest running might give you some really weird brands. So you also want to go off, not TikTok, because you're advertising on Meta, and maybe you kind of want to be. I mean, this stuff doesn't really matter. But anyway, you kind of see a lot of these different brands that sell collagen, right? I think my mum bought this. That's pretty sad. She got marketed. Come on, mum. Should have known. This shit doesn't actually work. Nah. So yeah, you're looking for brands here that give you inspiration, right? And obviously, MyOvi right there. You want to look for brands that you can look at and copy and like get inspiration from. So these guys winning, big brand, do 50 mil a year. You're looking at what all their ads. It kind of gives you a telltale sign on what's working for them. You want to obviously look for ads that are active, so make sure that you have that selected as well. Active brand. See, look, these are what's winning. This is what's selling it. It's all about losing weight, bloating, but yeah, PCOS. But yeah, you kind of get the gist. This is where you do your research, right? You can also use tools like AdSpy, which is practically the same thing. It's really just preference. These are paid tools. I think Atria is 35 USD a month, and AdSpy, I have no idea. After you've got like a bit of an idea on what you want to sell, where do you go to like get more inspiration, right? Now, I would go on Pinterest. Pinterest, I mean, look, you can already see there's so many like little brand ideas right here. A lot of hidden gems on Pinterest, man. You've got all these like branding style ideas, colors that you can copy. I mean, look, if I go search up collagen brand, right? You're gonna see that I will get given so much inspiration just right here. And you get so much access to other brands. I think the best value you can find on these platforms is inspiration from what other brands are doing, because you kind of want to take from winning brands and see how you can implement that in your own brand and to your target audience that might be different, right? But you kind of want to take inspiration from these winning brands because they've already got the winning sort of the winning strategy, right? The winning branding angle, the winning product, right? So I think that this kind of all circles back to the premise that stop trying to reinvent the wheel. Stop trying to come out with the next most insane product when you don't need to. All you need to do is look at what's working in other countries and try and implement it in your own country. It doesn't really matter, to be that innovative entrepreneur. You be innovative with your branding, right? It's all about branding and standing out. It's not about necessarily a product. Like I said with branded, it's not about building a brand. It's not about building a product. It's about building a brand that actually scales. So, it's about building that connection, that customer loyalty with, your customers, right? It's about building that relationship. It's not about the product itself. The product solves the pain, but what keeps them coming back is that customer loyalty, which you craft by providing value and then also by just being so good with your brand and just really connecting and making them feel a certain way. It's all about creating an emotion, right? That's associated with your brand, and obviously a positive emotion, right? You don't want to give them a negative experience, then they lose trust. Branding is all about trust, right? It's a trust factor. All right, that's why brands spend millions of dollars on building that trust, because that's what it's all about. It's about building that connection. Okay, so you can use Pinterest, search up the idea, you get a lot of inspiration, right? Another one you can use Twitter. It's practically the same thing. Google, like if you go collagen powder, right? I'm sure you get a lot of brands come up here that you can do research on, just read the reviews. But once you have like brands and inspiration, what you should start doing is going on Reddit, right? And searching on, this is the best collagen powder, right? This is an example of what I would do. Yeah, best collagen question mark, right? And basically, you get a lot of raw, authentic content from customers talking about the collagen, right? They're simply going into detail, right, about what they like about the product. And this is a gold mine for you because you understand so much about that customer. You understand so much about what sells this product, why people buy collagen. Like you just learn about the pain points, you learn about the unique benefits of products, your competitors. This is a really easy way to look at competitor analysis. Gives you a lot of brand inspo. You learn more about new brands. But yeah, like this is where people write the real shit. You can also look at website reviews. So if I went and looked at this is iHerb, but this is like a retailer, but you can go and look at the reviews on here. And this will also give you an insight as to why people buy. It wasn't supposed to have any taste, but the previous ones I bought didn't have any taste. And my coffee, I don't know, but the last one I bought was different. It's scary. If you're going to change the composition, you should let your buyers know something has definitely changed in the ingredients. But like just look at the positives, look at the negatives, and understand more about why people buy, the benefits of the product, and why people don't like certain brands and some things that turned customers off. These are going to help you not only in finding a correct product, but when you actually nail down on a product, you'll be able to make a product that people like because you'll know what your competitors did wrong and you'll be able to correct it with your suppliers. But yeah, man, like Reddit's massive. Is a gold mine for product research, but also for marketing. But this is about product research here. Instagram, TikTok, you can kind of curate your feed to look at like wellness brands on TikTok and Instagram. Definitely recommend doing that. Now, when you're going to source samples, where do we go? We go on Alibaba and we go wellness. We'll go collagen powder, right? We'll use collagen as the example for this video. I don't think you should do collagen. It's a saturated market. And honestly, it's just so overly saturated. Every audience has been hit. It's like a new health thing, but you definitely do wellness. Like wellness products are massive. They might be a little bit hard in terms of regulations, but there's so much money to be made in a consumable wellness product. So don't be afraid to do wellness. I just don't recommend collagen as like your flagship product, which is like your main product. So yeah, you find a lot of different suppliers and you basically just you press this little button or you go on it and you go chat now. And yeah, basically what you're looking for in a supplier is a cheap supplier, the ability to customize to your branding or your design, in providing a good product, and willing to do low mock if you want to buy like a lot of stock, which you don't need to, if they're willing to do low mock, that's what you should be looking for when choosing a supplier. But you want them to be, affordable, cheap as possible, but you want the product to be good. Obviously, because you want retention. When people buy the product, you want them to buy it again. They won't if it sucks. Now, you can just sell a sample at first and start marketing the sample and then just email customers saying that the big order is coming on the way. You'll probably lose a lot of brand trust initially, but you got to hustle, man. You don't have the money for capital, then that's just how it is. But that's definitely doable. You can sell the product without having the stock. It's what a lot of brands do, man. So don't think that that's not being done. Now, when branding, right, what am I looking for, right? I'm looking for, obviously, crafting brand and identity. So having, a brand name that resonates with my target audience, brand values. So what am I actually trying to achieve with this brand? What is it that my brand solves? What is my brand about? Like, what do I care about? All right, and that's all got to resonate with that target audience as well. So yeah, it's all about resonation. That's like probably the most important thing about marketing, resonating as much as possible with that target audience. Understanding who your target audience is, the demographic, so the age, ethnicity, country that they're from, just everything about that person, all the characteristics. You need to build a customer profile on who that actually is. Their lifestyle. What do? Do they go for runs? Or do they sit at home all day, bloody, drinking beers? Like, who are these people, right? What are they interested in? Like, you got to find out who these people are, right? And then visual identity. So like I said, rip your competitors for visual identity. They are already doing such a good job of it. They've probably spent millions of dollars on it, if not thousands. They're ahead of you. And there's a lot of inspiration out there, right? Pinterest, like I've said, all those things. Use inspiration from your competitors. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel. you'll probably end up failing more doing that unless you've got a really good idea. All right, I'm not saying that you can't do it. I'm just saying there is no need to. Take what's winning and run with the wind. All right. Now, packaging and product design. What am I looking for when packaging and product? So, like for example, is the packaging like the jar or the whatever it is that it's coming in, the product's coming in? What is it? Is it matte? Is it glossy? Is it a recycled product? Like what is it? Like what is the packaging? Is it like really papery? Am I trying to save the environment? Is that a part of my branding? Am I like really environmentally friendly? This is all things you'd talk to about your supplier. Obviously, like, am I an organic? Am I a vegan brand? Am I a cruelty-free? Are these things that my customer cares about, right? Are these things that actually resonate with my customer? Like, just understanding that those little things as well is massive. I mean, it just really depends on your audience. I'd typically say women care more about that sort of shit, like vegan, cruelty-free, organic, but also there is a select few men out there that do care about that stuff as well. Having good brand messaging and tone. So, you want to understand, like, okay, who am I targeting and what works best and what makes me stand out more and what gives me point of difference? Am I going to do the casual in a market where there's so many casual brands? Am I going to be professional in a market where there's so many professional brands? Am I going to be playful? Is that making me stand out? Am I going to be a luxury brand? Which obviously, luxury, you're kind of selling this make-believe value by kind of selling an illusion. You're almost selling this perceived value through just good marketing. These are all things you need to consider when you're making this brand. Obviously, understanding the key phrases or words to use, in your messaging on your website, just things like that. Like understanding the words that resonates with your audience, and that you can just look at your competitors, Reddit. This is where people speak. This is where, you want to use the words of your customers, the same words that your customers use, the phrases, the terminologies that your customer uses. So if it's those abbreviations, use them, right? And then understanding words to avoid to, kind of deter your customers. You don't want to be saying things or using words that doesn't resonate with your customers because it'll put them off. As soon as they do not relate, they're not interested, right? If they don't relate to your product at all or your brand at all, they're not going to be interested and they're just going to move on to the next. And then also, what makes your brand different, right? What is it? What are you doing different than other brands? Simple as really just, look at product features you can implement, look at things that you can change about your product that makes you stand out. Obviously, branding has a massive play here. Packaging designs, being playful, like for example, being playful and having really bright, flashy colors in an industry that's full of, really minimalistic, simple, medical sort of wellness products. Like that's like the big thing now. Being playful and standing out, being vibrant. Like for example, there's this brand called Hyro in Australia. They sell kind of the same thing as this brand called Hydrolite. I'm going to draw the comparison here in branding, right? Hydrolite is very well known in Australia, but as you can see, their packaging, it kind of looks medicinal. It looks medicated. It looks more like, more professional rather than, and more like, like it's more straight edge rather than Hyro. Very playful, swervy, typography in their logo, just like the color itself, that flashy green. It's kind of like Duradry. Duradry as well, they used to be super clinical, like clinical style, and they went for more of a playful approach because they wanted to hit more resonation with their target audience, which I'm probably pretty sure it's mostly women because look at the coloring. Like Duradry rebrand. You won't see what it used to look like. But that's what it used to look like, right? See how it says PM, kind of like how Rogaine says PM? It's like literally so much more clinical. And now look at it. It's pink and like look at this shit. It's pink as and way more playful. They've like completely rebranded, changed their logo and everything. So you see the point, guys. You want to stand out in your market, and that's how you can do it. You don't have to have the most insanely different product. you know, maybe like be natural, have better ingredients, have a better product itself. Now, how do I find a designer? I mean, literally go on Fiverr and search up product designer and then go here, seller details, top rated seller. So you're not getting some shitty seller, and then kind of look around and find someone that has a portfolio that that works with your vision. Like that looks similar to your competitors or similar to what you're trying to execute. Don't go, like for example, if you're trying to do a creative, playful brand, don't go to this guy. There's no playfulness in any of his stuff, right? If you're looking to do playfulness, right, go to, like, I mean, I don't know if I'll be able to find one very quickly, but like, see this? Chili Chins. This guy already, this girl already looks like way better, honestly. Obviously, looking at the price, you're like, holy shit. But you don't need to spend that much money to find a good designer. Even this person's more playful with them, with their ads. Look, you'll find one. Like even here, professional packaging. This looks good. This is kind of playful. Don't go to studios. Studios will charge you insanely amounts of money. Try and spend within under $500 on branding and packaging designs. That's practically it, guys. That's what it takes really to find a product and, you know, just to start it. As long as you follow these sort of things, as long as it follows this criteria, you'll have a high retention product that's profitable in the first order, or if not, you know, at least, you know, has a high subscribe rate. So your LTV will be higher and you'll be making a lot of profit with subscriptions on your retention strategy. So yeah, man, this is how I did it. And it's generating me a lot of money. It's able for me to build huge subscriptions. What got me to $80,000 in a day. You know, only a couple of days ago, hitting $80,000 in a day is massive for us. But yeah, this will allow you guys to scale massively and build a product that actually works. Don't do drop shipping. Everyone that does drop shipping that succeeds, you know, tests lots of products. And honestly, a lot of guys say as soon as we went from drop shipping to branded drop shipping, which is basically where they create a brand out of that product they were selling, that's when they sold the most results. That just goes to show how branded is just everything, right? Yeah, that's my opinion. That's how I did it, guys. If you want to go and join the mentorship, click the link below. This is where we, you know, show you one-to-one how to do absolutely everything ecom branded wise. You know, if you haven't started a brand yet, we'll guide you throughout the whole process. So definitely go check that out if you're interested in starting a brand. But yeah, see you guys in the next video.